All right. So on this episode of Retro Wednesdays, Brett and I are going to take a stab at. Well, I'm going to take a stab at at playing one of my first games I ever owned as a kid, Top Gun. So, Brett, you have. I wish sometimes I wish we did have a camera, so I could videotape Brett's face when we play games that I like that are so shitty. Because you have this look on your face like this is going to be a half an hour of just awfulness.
I don't know. This game was made by one of my favorite developers ever, and I just don't like it now. When it was out, when this game first came out, it was pretty good. But this is one of those games that doesn't hold up, in my opinion.
It did not age well. You know, it's funny. In the last game, the last video that we did, that we recorded, we talked about are there any bad Konami games, and we couldn't think of one. I think I might have just thought of one. All right. So, I'm just going to let the demo play for a second, just so you can get a feel for the game. This game was one of those classic, like, let's try to capitalize on the awesomeness of the movie. I think it's kind of funny that the demo right now is playing music, because you'll see in a minute when I actually start to play the game, there is no music in the game. And I think they tried to do that to make it more, quote-unquote, realistic, but it just ended up making it very tedious. And you'll even see, like, the way that I've learned how to play this game is I don't want to say it's cheating, but it's like you have to game the system, because one of the things I learned is that you don't really get anything for shooting down planes, and it's easier to just dodge them than actually shoot them. It's kind of like how we were joking around in Jackal that it's like the grenades and the missiles during boss fights are kind of useless compared to the gun.
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing. Like I just end up dodging most of the shit. So here we go. I really hope I can get it on tape so I don't look like an asshole after I've said this, but I have consistently, or at least 80% of the time, I can land the plane, because I figured out like how it can. That's like the other big knock on this game, is that there are just some basic design flaws in the game. Like, for example, the missiles, right? I don't know, maybe there is something where if you take the Tiger missiles, the enemies are easier or something, or there's less enemies. I don't know, but one missile equals one kill if you can hit it. So to me, it's like, why would you take 10 when you could take 40? So I always take 40.
Why is there an apostrophe after Q and Q?
I guess because it's like quantity, but they couldn't fit it on the screen. Too many characters. So here's my takeoff. For the most part, when you're playing the game, the only things you need to worry about are your missile remain over on the right, and that's really about it. Because while you're flying or whatever, your altitude and speed do not particularly matter. So here you go, you're flying. Again, no sound. You got a little radar, and then this mission's kind of boring because it's just like a training mission. And basically all you do is just fly around, shoot at these guys. You can move left and right, and you can see that it is indicated by the pitch, I don't know what you call it, but the pitch monitor on the left side. And here we go. I'm not going to lie, this game is not exactly exciting.
So how many pilots are you killing when you train?
I know, apparently I'm taking out like the entire training force for the military.
Because I think
these are my favorites.
F-16s are what, like a couple million a piece?
Oh yeah, they're a couple billion. I mean, I guess. They're really expensive. So yeah, when enemies come at you, this is all you have to do. And safe. You can take...
Does that work always, even in the later levels?
99% of the time. I mean, sometimes you just get screwed where like the guys pop out and their missiles are just way too fast for you to dodge. But you'll notice that, or I was going to say, like, the other thing you have to keep in mind is that you can only get hit once by a missile and you die, but if you get hit by bullets, that bar of red that's below my main screen, that's indicating how many bullets I can take.
Okay.
So you can survive some bullet attacks. But for the most part, yeah, when guys are coming straight at you, it's just easier to dodge. You do have a gun that you can shoot infinite bullets from. Why it's only on one side of your plane, I don't know. You can also, like I said, you can use missiles. You have to press the B button 2 times, one to target the enemy and then one to lock on. My favorite really corny thing about this game, out of all the things about this game that are kind of weird, is the missiles just look so ridiculous. They just look like flaming cannonballs.
They do.
For some reason. They look like...
Actually, the
hot
game
chili
does not
food.
look that bad.
No, I mean
I'm
it's
watching
not.
you
I
play
mean,
it.
you know, it's not. It's not. Is it the most entertaining game I've ever played? No, but I mean, is it the Hunt for Red October? Not by a long shot. Because fuck that game.
I wonder if the less quantity missiles shoot faster or something.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they home faster or something. But then you only have 10. It's like the whole time I'd be freaking out about whether running out of missiles or not. I mean, at the same time, much like most Konami games, the gun will kill it with one hit. So it's almost like a moot point. But the missiles are nice. I mean, it's actually the same thing. Like when you get to the boss level fights in like level 2 and 3, it's actually easier to go after them with the gun because you can shoot faster. So the trick with the landing sequence, in case anyone doesn't know this, is that you have to reach a certain altitude and speed, and the altitude and speed is going to be in the center of the screen. My actual altitude and speed are on the left side, and I can speed up by pressing A or slow down by pressing B. So right now it's giving me directions to do certain things. Like I need to lower my speed because I need to get it around 288, but I can't go below 200, whatever 200 feet. I'm assuming it's feet. I think it's feet. So right now it's just telling me to speed down a little bit because I'm way fast. And now,
So how do you slow down?
you press B. Or you press B and you can aim your plane. So like if I go into a dive, I can sorry, this is for some reason I now have to concentrate. But if I go into a dive, I can shed altitude faster. Now I have to come up a little bit. And that's basically it. I think I'm going to do it. I did it.
Nice.
Yeah, so take that, AVGN. Nah, I'm just kidding. He admitted afterwards that he knew how to land the plane. He was just pointing out that if I'm a little kid, I would never know how to do that.
Right.
Like,
I don't think I ever landed in my entire
no,
life.
I mean I still can screw it up. I just wanted to prove that I could do it on tape at least.
Good
once.
job.
So take that. I'm legit. Now in this level, you have to refuel. Same concept. You gotta line up the stupid dick hose with your
the
front of your
elephant
plane.
trunk.
Yeah, the elephant thong, and you gotta line it up. Same thing. You gotta speed it up, line it up, or whatever. That one actually has music though. So this is where I start to use what I like to call the Sean total bullshit tactic, and that is anytime something comes at me from the front, I just dodge right on by.
Flaming
Oh fuck,
cannonballs.
that's close. Sometimes you can get close with the flaming cannonballs, but most of the time if you just do this, you're set. Yeah, eat it. Yeah, whatever you do, do not go down. You see that like on the radar, that little like Oreo looking thing that I'm just passing that
Yeah,
just
what
passed.
is that?
That's a ship. That's in the water. You do not want to go near the water. You will get ripped because they shoot like 6 missiles at a time. It's just pointless. I don't even think you can actually kill them. And on the next level, when you're trying to destroy the enemy base, there's like these laser tank things that, like, if you go down, you're dead. You have no chance. I don't even know why they have that in the game because there's no. It's just I don't understand why other than to collect points, or to try to like prove you're a badass or something. And that's it. This is the American way. Dodge.
The second one they came out with was pretty cool because it had a versus mode,
Yeah.
which I really thought was fun.
I did like that. I do like that one a little more. I mean, you have some extra stuff, like you can go upside down, but it honestly had the same basic concept as this game, where it was like, fly to a certain point, shoot some stuff down. Oh god,
I don't know if I even have this game.
really? It's not terrible. It's just not good. Like, it falls in that like in between spot, where it's like it's something I can play if I want to, but it's not something where I'm like, yeah, man, I really want to go rock out on some Top Gun. I have beaten this once, but I used Game Genie codes.
What Game Genie codes does give you infinite missiles or something?
It's infinite lives, so you can like even if you get shot down, you just keep going. The actual challenge in this game comes in the boss fights because, like in this level, I have to blow up an aircraft carrier, and there's constant planes coming at you, and the aircraft carrier can shoot missiles like 3 at a time. So like you gotta manage to shoot it and dodge the whole time.
I didn't
So it
even know
makes
there
it
was a
really hard.
boss fight in this game.
Yeah, this one is an aircraft carrier. Then the next one you have to blow up an enemy base, and then the last mission, which is probably where I'm gonna die, is you got to blow up an enemy space shuttle. I mean, I'm just blowing those guys up for fun. I technically could just dodge them. So here's the refuel part. The part about this that is kind of cheap is that if you come out and if you come out and you try to or if you miss the fuel thing, you basically die because you just run out of gas. Like eventually the plane just gives up and is like, see ya. All right, now we got jams. All right, let's see if I can do this. Right, speed up, right. There you go. So now I get refueled. And I get missiles too. Apparently they can put missiles through that nozzle.
Wow, I can't believe you did it.
So now I get to do... The only other super cheap ass part of this is,
That sound it made was just like the sound Jaws makes,
yeah.
which is a different...
It's an LJN game. Yeah, it's true. That's weird. I never noticed that before. But, the only other trick with the boss fight thing is that if you get too close, like, you have a limited amount of time to, like, blow it up. So you gotta be, like, real quick. Oh, God. You can shoot down the missiles, I should have mentioned that. But it is not easy to do. It's not something I recommend attempting. Unless you absolutely have to. Like in that case. Gotta shoot out them cannonballs. Purr. Oh, God. No! I don't want to die at this point. Apparently I heard that if you just do this, like if you fly up and to the left the whole time, like you can just basically avoid everything, but I don't mind flying straight and like dodging as I go. Sometimes I pay the price, but it is what it is. It is kind of funny because you would think eventually I would come back around in a circle, but apparently that's not the case. And in a lot of ways, this game is kind of funny in that it's kind of like really flying a plane. Like, this is what you would get. You just get like this kind of dull sort of hiss thing going on.
What's the one after the radar mean?
I think it's like what mode it's in. I don't know. I think they just did it to try to make it look cool. Because like when you go into the refueling thing, there's like different ones. There's like radar 2 and radar 3. First target. So now I get to fly down into the nondescript, very Atari-like water. This game kind of does look like Atari. Like you could, like minus the fluid numbers changing, I think you could probably port this to an Atari. All right, this is where shit gets a little difficult. So I gotta sit up a little bit. Gotta get
concentrate.
ready. I don't know if I can. I hope I can pull this off. The worst part is if you gotta go fly around again. It just sucks because then you gotta start all over. Usually I can beat the aircraft carrier. The next level is the one that gets really dicey, and I'm very much like 20% or below on the very last level. But unlike other games, this game does give you a consolation prize if you get to the 4th level. You get a cheap ending as opposed to an awesome ending. I think one of my criticisms of this game, there it is, and then you gotta like shoot those missiles down, then come back. You gotta constantly be moving. Come on, goddammit.
No missiles?
I don't tend to use them because they take too long for me to lock on. I got it.
Nice.
And then I get the extra challenge of trying to land again.
Is it more difficult this time or no?
Yeah, you have a little bit. This time you have a little bit less time to land, so you have a little bit less time to get it like lined up. I think I did it. Yeah, 2 for 2.
All right. They tease you with the animation, like you never know.
The funniest one is if your altitude's too high and it's like you go like flying like all the way across the screen. It's like, no. Now I have to blow. This one is really hard. I have a really hard time with this one. But it's basically the same concept. But this time, instead of flying over nondescript blue, you get to fly over nondescript brown. Which may look like something. I'm not going to say it, because apparently I talk about turds too much. Turds. Yeah. Gotta go blow up the enemy poop base. It's their toilet base. See, there's like it's like poo and there's like a crust on top. God. This one I tend to do the turn trick a little bit more because, as you can see, there are way more enemies coming at me this time. They don't mess around as much on this level. I do think, like you were talking about the second version of this game, or the sequel. I do think that I like this. That game has a lot more action. So if you're watching this and you're like a person for some reason who's never seen Top Gun, like you're born way after Nintendo or something. If you're interested in this, but this looks really boring, it may be worthwhile to check out the second one, because the second one is the enemies are like 4 times more aggressive. They just like come right at you, and you have to be ready to go. That game is really hard. I've never really gotten very far in that one. But I don't know. I didn't play that one as much as this. This was like one of the first games I ever got as a kid for Nintendo. So I played this a lot.
It's a really common game. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty.
Everyone I know had it.
I mean, at least on where we are on the East Coast of the United States, it's like really, really straightforward.
Yeah, this is usually in like the $1 or $2 game pile.
Yeah, it's like there's tons of them, and people, for whatever reason, people don't like it. I mean, I know that it's not a super great game. Like, I wouldn't put it in the pantheon of any of the good Konami games, but like, I don't know. I think it gets a little bit of a bad rap. I think, much like every game that gets the YouTube sort of celebrity treatment, it tends to get reflected as exactly like people just assume that's exactly what it's like. Like, people that watch the AVGN episode think that the game is really that crappy, and even James, the guy who does AVGN, has come on and admitted like the games he plays they're not that crappy, with like 1 or 2 exceptions. Like, most of the time he's just pointing out like the comedic elements of the game. Like, why, like, as a kid I can totally understand where he's coming from. Like, how the hell would you know to land the plane unless you spent time trying to figure it out? And as a little kid, you're not trying to figure it out, you're just trying to press buttons, because usually landing the plane doesn't really happen until, later. Or it's automatic, or whatever.
It's the only game I ever played while it asks you to land the plane. Like, usually that's not part of it. It's
like you have to do the routine maintenance. Like, you gotta refuel the plane, you gotta, like, they should have added more to it. Like, it should have been like, you gotta wash the plane, you gotta, like, paint it. That's a mission. Paint plane. Check the tires, make sure they're inflated. I guess the other thing I don't like about this game is that I feel like the missiles can be way further away than they should be. You know what I mean? Like, there's that one that killed me was so far away from my screen. And in the second one, apparently they can hit you even further away, which is crappy. Yeah. Try to sneak up on me. That's what you get.
Should have done something to make the landscape a little more interesting.
Yeah, just like something. It's a little bit too like flight simulator-y. So yeah, like you'll see, like when I go to fuel up, you'll see my radar changes to like radar 2, radar 3, or whatever. You can't change it. It's just something cool they decided to show off. Here we go. Hoping it'll mess this up. I've already lost 1 life in this level. Here we go. Jesus, come on. Come on. There you go.
Nice.
I was about to get nervous because I don't want to die. It's weird. They think to give you more missiles, but if you get shot up, they don't repair your armor. I wish they did. I guess that was like a little bit too realistic. Alright, so now I get the enemy base is the hardest one. I have a really hard time on this, so we may be seeing my demise early on, but at least this was a decent run. And it's further than most, to be honest, it's further than most of the game, like the review videos I've seen with like, people usually give up on the aircraft carrier because they're like, it's too hard, F this. Alright, here we go. God. Fuck. Man.
Once you repeat it easily, though?
Yeah, because it starts you right off at it.
Get him.
Trying, man. It's really tough. Come on, damn it. Try to shoot missiles when I get the chance. Nice. There we go. Oh man, I feel like my hand's gonna break. I was gripping that shit so hard. Oh. See, well, I died twice, so beating this game is probably gonna be out of my reach on this run.
Okay.
But I'll at least get I'll at least be able to show off the consolation prize ending. I am way too high. I'm in trouble.
I think they could have done without
Fuck.
the...
That's the most... Oh man, that was it. Oh, it sucks. Ah. Fuck.
Just start you over from the beginning?
Yes.
Ugh.
Fuck, man. I'm sorry. I thought I had another life so I could at least show off the last level. But... I don't feel like doing that again tonight. Maybe we'll do like a part 2 sometime, and I'll get better at it and try to beat
You
it.
could always just...
You want to give it a shot?
No. You could always just... you could always just pause it, and then we'll do it again another time, and you can splice them together, right?
Yeah, I can always do that, or I can always, we could do like a 2-parter. We could do a follow-up. Maybe I'll do like a follow-up on my own or something and try to beat this game. But, yeah, so, Top Gun, final thoughts. We'll keep this one short.
Graphics okay. Music is fine when it plays. It's okay, just didn't age well.
Yeah. I think this was one of those, like, boardroom decisions where they were like, hey, Top Gun is, like, huge right now. How can we exploit that and make some money? And they were like, let's make a game. And they're like, okay, but let's make it, like, with the minimal amount of effort. So it's like, I mean, I guess in a way you could argue that they're trying to go for, like, realism in this game, but I mean at the same time it's just so it's too Spartan to be an entertaining game. Like, I know that there are people that love flight simulators and stuff, but this is not a flight simulator. This is like some kind of weird action game that they tried to make too realistic to me. Right. I think like controls wise it's okay. I think that part of the problem with the game is that the hitbox for your plane is the entire screen most of the time. Like, right. It's almost the entire screen. So it puts you at, like, this huge disadvantage because if a missile or even bullets get within a certain spot, there's no way you can dodge it. So you're just screwed. And I think that that's why it's not particularly... what's the word I'm looking for? Like, fondly remembered. Or like one of the games that's like really like positively remembered in the NES library. I think it's one of those games that like was one of those things where they could have made a really fun game. Like you look at a game like Captain Skyhawk or something. That's another game we got to do. Or like even like if it was a side scrolling shooter like UN Squadron style, it would have been a much better game. And it's also a telling sign that they didn't really care that much in the game because there's only 4 levels. There's training, aircraft carrier, base, and then space shuttle, and that's it. And, I know that people, like you were saying, I remember in the Crystal Mines video we did, that, if a game has like 100 levels, it probably means that all the levels are shit. This one only has 4 levels, but they're also all shit. So it's like you get the opposite effect in this. But yeah, I mean, my argument is that it's kind of a lame tagline to this, but like I would say, Top Gun, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I think it's interesting once you know how to do it, but the learning curve in it was just such bullshit at the time that you're in 5th grade trying to do this, like, forget it. You never know how to land that plane. Or the refueling thing, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I remember the first time when I was little and the refueling thing went off, you're supposed to press start to, like, call the plane, and I had no clue. So I was just like, why am I running out of fuel? And I would just, like, crash into the ocean like an idiot. But, yeah, that's it. This was a short one, but, it's Top Gun. There's been a million videos about it, and, this is just our take on it. So, yeah, that's it. So Retro Wednesdays signing off. Until next time.